I have nothing to say to you.
Excuse me, what happened to confiding? Wait a second. The investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Goku's already dead.
Did you try looking at her enough?
How in the name of God did you find the man?
Man, you're really quick to assume he just died, sir.
Yes. We can't find him. He must be dead.
Yeah, no other reason. He's just dead. Could I discuss some things with you?
No.
Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are about to talk about our not dead best friend here, because we still don't know why Sherlock did what he did back when, almost a year ago. Care to explain? That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Brea. It was all for nothing. Cosmo wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us. Your great detective's lie.
Why are you mad? Like, he's alive.
Yeah, but gotta be in, like, Ryunosuke's shoes and sit there and be like, you made me go through all that trauma for, like, no reason at all. Like, he was accused for being the murderer of his own best friend, you know? Like, that was a lot. I would be pretty mad. Like, I'm happy Cosmo's alive, but, like, dude.
I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost.
What?
I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Precisely, Mr. Zato. And then I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my, you mean...
The arrangement between... Oh, God.
I know that Yorkshire pudding is very hard to swallow.
Yeah, that gravy is, like, doing a number on me. But it's worth it, especially because I couldn't get a pheasant! I'm not bitter.
There, Mr. Sholmes. I didn't get pheasants either.
I got a little bit of pheasant because my father shared with me.
Oh, that's nice! I'm so happy for you, Mr. Sato.
Oh,
yes,
thank you.
so happy.
The two guys are just like, oh my god.
The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi. I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least.
Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you...
Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England?
Yeah, after you tried to accuse me for murder.
Oh god, who is Hosonaga?
It was me. I don't remember his voice.
It was very, very, very plain.
He coughs a lot.
Yes, I remember the coughing now. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. Sorry. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
This flashback is so funny with the DLC now.
Yeah, wait.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know?
Well, this is Sholmes' flashback. This is how he remembers seeing it.
Yeah.
All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there's no one else with necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We have no other lawyer.
The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer.
So, you manipulated me.
Yes, I've sent you to cram school.
What a monster.
I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend.
I don't believe it.
So
I mean,
was
he's
that
right.
was that his plan all along, or did he come up with that? Oh, hey, this guy after Naruhodo cleared himself of not being the murderer.
I think that's just a convenience plan that just came up on the spot because this is
Okay.
Sherlock. This is Herlock Sholmes.
Okay, well, actually, Susato is just taking the words out of my mouth.
But if this was all contrived, I mean, what happened? What happened was treated by the.
What happened was treated by the authorities as Oh, okay.
I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman who was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her?
Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought.
I seem to remember Mrs. Sato and I had some rather strong words for her.
Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure.
You don't even remember, do you?
I wonder if she made it to America then.
Find out in the Great Ace Attorney 4.
Or
Boy.
Yeah, we're not getting there yet. We've gotta do some other stuff first.
Yeah, it's 34. That's when we all go to America.
I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why are you so determined to stop Cosmo Center from reaching Britain?
The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
How?
An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand.
An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows.
Well, we're not gonna find out here.
I have to present... Oh,
we need to find out. Well, good luck with that.
okay, we're presenting the telegram. There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Shigoku's office that should be searched, so... You obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found.
K. Osogi, A. Sheen, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
But we only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top secret government communications that were leaked.
That's true, yes, but at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan.
I can understand 3 of the names. Why is Gregson's name on there?
Oh, we're about to find out, aren't we?
Well, okay, I guess.
It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese government.
Of course you are. You're perpetually doing what?
You're
Ow!
perpetually what?
Never mind the details, but you should know.
No, I'm gonna mind the details a lot!
No secret is safe from Herlock Shums when he has designs on knowing it.
What the hell?
I love this man.
Oh man, Mr. Shums, the fabulous line.
Oh my god.
Sasato, what the hell?
No, it's fine. It's fine if he does it because he's doing detective work. Those Mario brothers or whatever the hell, they weren't doing anything good.
I think you're too biased for this.
Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct, and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Shums, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
Also, have we heard this music track before?
Yes.
Okay.
As I said, when I learnt of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names, because you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased.
What? Who?
A Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asashin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes.
Oh, I see.
But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list.
Ha! Keosogi and T. Gregson.
Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain.
Oh. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead.
Exactly.
So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Shums?
Oh yes. Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I'd recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters. And the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then?
Wait, you guys didn't tell her that?
I didn't know.
Oh,
Oh, we kind of forgot about that part. Oops, sorry, Iris.
Iris.
I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That's very sad.
Seriously, you guys didn't tell her that? How long have you been here?
It was a very delicate subject, sir.
Sasato!
Well, Father, you see, we weren't 100% sure, and, well, you know, I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you.
No.
But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis.
Which I think he already alluded to, but okay, Naruhodo, you go on.
A big hole in this Naruhodo?
Yeah, the person who killed Wilson.
Ah, yes. You mean about Asashin, I presume.
Oh, of course.
Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? Well, not yet.
That was my handiwork!
She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett.
I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel.
Ah,
Wait a minute. Nikitoba, you didn't tell Shones that?
Yeah, there was a lot of things. There were many things going on. It didn't become relevant until recently. It's fine.
Okay.
And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy.
What? Topsy? Topsy hypothesis.
Topsy.
What a fun descriptor. What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Shones?
I believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken.
Very much so. Asashin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it?
Oh.
Indeed, and it would seem that Mishin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front.
which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asashin is because he was the target of an assassination.
And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective.
What do you mean?
Well, does it not strike you? There's another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student.
An exchange. Wait, you mean...
But of course, a name you know only too well.
You mean Kazuma?
Oh,
Congratulations, we're all on the same page now. He did say in court earlier today.
Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission.
His target wasn't even Juyoku in the first place. Oh.
And the mission was...
The assassination of the Mark.
Okay.
Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now.
surely not.
In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange.
Wow, that just turned the exchange program all up in the... Okay. An assassin exchange.
I want to see that telegram evidence again when we can.
Okay. I mean, we can look at it right now.
Oh, okay.
We're on page 4. All
4.
right.
Okay. Okay. Mm.
The assassin's name's at the top and their target's on the
Yeah.
bottom.
Okay, I wasn't sure about the order, so that's why I wanted to check.
Oh, we can look at this now. Following departure, that evacuation drill notice. Assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. Review evacuation procedures. Drill will take 20 minutes. I'm going to assume everything happened within the span of that 20 minutes, then.
So, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Kazuma.
Yes.
Only because, yeah, he is listed on that, but...
I don't think he wanted to do it, right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he wanted to do it. And also, we know that went to Judge Jigoku's desk. So, Jigoku might have been the killer, actually.
Yeah.
Which would explain why he was trying to get out of there, so then they couldn't pin it on him.
I think with the way Kazuma is, I actually think he just accepted so he has a reason to get to Great Britain because he's looking into his father's like what happened to
Murder.
him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he even said it in court. He had no intention of doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure he only accepted so he could just get to Great Britain,
Yep.
which makes the most sense to me in my head.
Yeah, and that would make sense to me as to why Jigoku would have been there, because he would have been like, "Hey, buddy, you gotta do the task. This is what you're ordered to do."
Well, Kazuma went into the ship with Gregson to find Jigoku.
Yep.
So, okay. Well, you know what? We'll get into that when we get into that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the part on the top of a pocket watch that you twist to set the time, isn't it?
Even smaller than I thought it was.
It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one.
The crown? Like what sits on top of a monarch's head? That's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually,
Yes, Miss Naruhodo?
if this is a crown, I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head.
If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have.
Okay. So if I examine the pocket watch now...
Yes, connect the dots.
What do you think, Mrs. Sato?
I feel sure I know exactly what will fit here.
Really? I was just thinking precisely the same thing.
Why would Eugene have? Why not Eugene? Why would Seishiro have that?
Yeah.
What about the sea that little round component? It's actually part of Inspector Gregson's broken pocket watch.
Really? I was just thinking precisely that too. Oh my god, I can
Well,
just
you
imagine.
actually,
I am
you
imagining
actually
these
do
two.
that, or you're just saying that.
I am imagining these two just sparkling at each other because, like, oh my god, we're figuring something out together! Yay! It's really
Well,
Did we
honestly,
just
I
become
was-
best friends?
yeah.
I was thinking something completely different. I was thinking to like, yes, this is what you do. And Naruto, oh yeah, exactly, that's what we need to do, right? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
A perfect fit.
I knew it. All right, perhaps you knew it.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I'll make note of this new information at once.
Updated.
An updated small components. Very well. A small machine part that Mr. Jones and found in Judge Jigoku's cabin unless it's grouse. It's now clear that's the missing crown of Inspector Gregson's pocket watch.
Well then. Okay. He had that with him. Understood.
So, sorry, I interrupted when we were talking to him, and then we got sidetracked with other evidence.
Yep, we sure did. The Ooh. Ooh.
Well, I have a guess.
Yeah, sure. This is perfect. We're getting all this information now. We're starting to put pieces together.
I
So,
like puzzles.
so my assumption is that like that telegram is what everyone thinks it is. Like it's
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
like top two are the assassins, bottom two are their marks.
Mm-hmm.
But Kazuma had no intention of ever doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then because of that, Jigoku came over here to do it himself.
Well, not. I wouldn't. Okay.
There's Jigoku has some kind of involvement. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
he-
accurate this
he
is.
does, but I guess. Okay, so here's my question to you on that: are you saying he came over to do that because he heard of Kazuma's death, or he just came over that because he just felt like it?
Either he heard of Kazuma's death, or he
So I
didn't think Kazuma was going to fully go through with it in the
Yeah.
first place.
So I think
there's-
that's the missing piece.
So here's one issue, and I have because we don't have an answer to this. Why is Jigoku a target then?
I don't think Jigoku.
It's in the
So
book.
I.
So that's
Okay,
the
but
only,
that
like,
book-
I'm
but
with
that-
you there, but I'm just like, what about why is Jigoku's name in the target book then that Gina found
Wasn't-
in Gregson's
Wasn't
office?
that Gregson's book though? Because I think we need to piece this back now a little bit. if Gregson was actually the hit, there's a possibility that Gregson was never actually part of the Reaper organization to begin with.
Not to mention, the original thing was that Gregson was investigating the Reaper, not part of them. Kazuma's trying to accuse him of being part of the Reaper. But I think Gregson might have just been trying to investigate the
Hold up,
Reapers.
I think the defense is also in agreement with the prosecution about that.
Oh yeah, no, we were definitely in agreement, but we didn't have this information at the time, so
That's true.
it seemed
That's
the
true.
most logical.
That's true. Okay.
So that's what I'm
Alright,
saying.
I got you. I see where you're going with this. I got you.
So I'm sure there are pieces missing, but like at the moment, it feels like
Yeah.
one assassin was going to kill one person. That happened. One assassin was going to kill the other. That didn't happen. Someone has to have been orchestrating this, and it got sent to Jigoku. So Jigoku theoretically would have to be the one that is
Yeah.
delivering these assignments to Kasuma and Asa. So one went through, the other didn't.
We still don't actually know who's the recipient on the Britain side, actually.
I have a feeling.
We have Jigoku on we have Jigoku on the Japan side. We still don't actually have. We don't know who's like he's been responding to on the Britain side, though.
I can make some guesses. I'm not going to right now, but I can make some guesses.
Well, anyway.
He wasn't killed it all along.
Oh my god, he's making orders from the grave. Anyway.
I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. I'm just gonna say, watch Assassination Classroom. Good anime.
I like Detective Neuro.
I'm waiting for Case Closed to give me some plot.
Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange.
So, to begin with, the British assassin dispatches a visiting student to Japan, which he kills a target. And then, the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange.
But what on earth is the point?
Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction.
Oh, yeah. That was annoying.
Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest level.
The highest levels.
Yes, almost like someone who could judge the proceedings or something.
Huh.
I have no responsibility behind it, so don't blame me.
I was a good guy all along! Haha!
These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot.
Wait, hang on a second. Hang on. So does that mean that the reason why Kasuma was representing Ryunosuke against supposedly his co-worker in the very first case, you know, his other assassin, was to test to see just how foolproof this plan was?
Ooh.
Because by all means, it should have worked. Like, they were dead to rights. Like, Giselle, Brett, Asashi, and whatever, they were dead to rights. And then they pulled that out. Something that shouldn't have worked. And it worked. Even though it was dead to rights.
I guess the question really becomes is, did Asogi know who the other assassin was at the time? Because as far as we know, Jigoku had that full list. We don't know if he told him the other person.
Jigoku could
Well,
have
it's
only,
not whether
Jigoku could have
it's
only
not
just
whether
told, sorry.
it's not whether Kasuma knows. It's the fact that it's why do I keep saying Eugene? Seishiro knows.
Seishiro.
Jigoku.
Okay.
Because if we're going by the fact that he's the one that was like, let's say, delivering the assassin assignments or whatever, like on the Japanese side.
Uh-huh.
And he was the judge in that case. Kasuma was the defense. Asashin was the accused. So it's so much. If Asashin was convicted and everything else about this came out, Jigoku was screwed. But if Kasuma fully proved her guilt, but then you pull out that rule, and bam, diplomatic immunity, and that proves that you can get away with it. Like that is basically Jigoku going like, oh, this will work. Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
You know what? This starts to lamp a lot because that explains why he chose Aochi. Because Aochi's a crap prosecutor. And so we needed someone that could be beaten to throw that out there. But also, if you recall from the first case of this game, right before he was sent to prison, Menimomo actually said there was something else going on, and right before he was able to say it, you know what Jigoku did? He did a Jigoku chop on him, and we never heard from Menimomo again.
The pieces. I'm connecting the dots. We're connecting the dots.
We have that board from that episode of Always Sunny.
I wish
Pepe Sylvia, I see this name everywhere.
I wish I had popcorn sitting here listening to this, because I already know the results, so it's just really fun listening to this.
Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia.
You know what the crazy thing is, Taisa, is I still know some of the cliff notes, and one of my cliff notes that I had for sure is now being scratched out, like, oh, never mind, I got that information wrong. So,
you were writing notes?
no, cliff notes from when we did recordings of this back on the Japanese.
When it was
okay,
in Japanese. When it was still only in Japanese.
I was gonna say you were writing notes. I was. I'm going by the whims of whatever the ADHD decides to remember.
You did not read this yet. By
Oh
the
right,
way.
that's me. But wait a minute, Shums.
You're like falling into a tunnel here.
This telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting. It would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson.
Yeah, we already know that Mikitoba. Chop chop, keep up.
Yeah. You gotta keep up, man.
Cosmo was here for Gregson? So Jigoku wasn't actually the mark? Yeah. We gotta give the crew a minute here.
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
Time for them to have the conversation we just had.
I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Sholmes?
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position.
Oh.
Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow.
Yeah, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him.
But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last.
You know, it's been like several videos now, and I'm still kind of in disbelief that Gregson's dead.
Yeah.
This is too much to take in.
Leslie, I haven't seen the guy, like, since the third case.
Alright, everyone, that's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day.
People are dead, Iris!
They've been dead. It's okay. It'll be fine. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time.
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow.
What preparations?
Literally just imagining Iris like, alright, that's enough about the dead people and assassinations. Anyway, it's tea time! Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
You're too chipper about that.
Yeah, wait. Actually, should he be going out? Because wouldn't he, like, if for whatever reason Jigoku got out, and we know that there's a possibility since he was the recipient of the assassination thing, shouldn't he not go back to his hotel room?
Good question. Good question.
I mean, I feel like that would tip Jikoku off.
It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister.
Oh no, that's cute. I'm sorry, Iris.
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. But when we're older, we can drink cups of sake and become blood sisters.
Huh? Is that a Japanese custom?
Yes, it is.
Oh. I think I'll just have juice with it.
That's why I said when you're older.
I think I still have grape juice.
Oh, very well.
Were you?
But does someone like me want to be worthy? I would be delighted to become your sister.
Oh? Really?
Oh yes, without question.
So, you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor?
That's
Yes, yes, of course. It would be my pleasure.
the first thing. You don't have to agree quite so readily.
But it's fun, Mr. Naruhodo.
Could you toss someone else? Like, I don't know, Herlock for stressing us out?
No.
No. He came back to us with a lot of important information.
Oh my god. Okay, we're just gonna stop here. We're like 36 minutes in. That's quite a bit there. We will continue this in the next video, so we will all see you then.